Hello, good morning, everyone. This is Marina here, and I have Mr. Nilesh with me from Coffee Evenings, but it is not Coffee Evenings with Karan, but it's with taxations and accountancy. That's the whole and soul of our business world. And I'm more than happy to have him as my guest today. And let's learn something about taxation, accountancy, and his background and how did he end up doing and getting into this kind of a field. Okay, up to you, Nilesh.
Hi Marina. Firstly, I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to first meet you and have your have our podcast together. Yes, my name is Nilesh Gehi. I'm born and raised in Dubai. I'm a Dubai kid.
Wow,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I studied in our own English high school, and after my 10th, I went to Mumbai
Okay,
for my college, and that's where I did my CA.
okay,
Initially, I wanted to take science because I was fascinated by the projects. And when you're at school, you like to make charts, your name comes on the blackboard, whiteboard, and whatever.
yeah, yeah.
And then the first time I got 60 plus was in my 10th. My
Okay,
father just taught me one thing, how to pass and don't repeat any year.
okay,
That's what really worked for me when I was pursuing my CA. Now, how I got into a CA is a different story. You would like to? Yeah.
100% would love to. Yeah,
Okay. Coming with the aspiration in Mumbai, how the colleges are, how the percentages are, and the people who would like to take science would obviously have at least 85 percentage, 85 to 90 percentage. Now people are getting 99 percentage, but I'm talking way back in 2003.
okay,
That time 70, 80s was good.
very good. It was, yeah,
So I applied in all the colleges, but of course my percentage didn't allow me.
yeah,
So one fine day I was just walking towards my building, and one of my friend asked me, "Did you get the admissions?" I was like, "No, man, no science. What to do?" Then that time, first time, he asked me, "Will you do commerce?"
okay,
I'm like, "See, now all admissions are closed. How will I apply? Because application form also has a time limit." So he's like, "No, come. There's a government quota kind of a thing. There's another slot of admissions right next door the college." We both went in the bus. We filled up the form, and then I asked the attendant over there, when will the results come? And he was like, "It will come day after." Day after, I went to the college, and trust me, the results closed at 73%.
oh,
My percentage was 64.
60. Okay.
So I didn't get that time.
Uh-huh.
I asked what to do next. He's like, "See, this is one list. Second list will come if people don't apply here.
Mm.
Like if there are still enrollments left out."
Left out, yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, I have no option. Everything is gone in science, filling science forms. This is the first commerce form I have filled. Day after tomorrow, I will cut it short. Day after tomorrow, again, I went to the college to see if there is any second list or not.
Mm.
Okay. There was no second list. So I was like, I think this is only my college life. Let's go and have some vada pav. Okay, have some cutting chai, play carom in boys' common room. I
Okay.
think this is my dream to have a college. I might go back to Dubai.
Mm.
What to do? Let's see what fathers has to say. They always have plan B, but they never share with their kids.
Yes.
Let's see.
So true.
Unless they are in that
Peak.
mountain falling zone.
Yeah.
So fine. So what happened is that I was walking out of the college gate, and there was one peon. He just banged me. I'm like, okay, let's see now what happens. He banged me, and he had some paper in his hand.
Mm.
Okay. So I saw that paper is there in his hand. It might be the list.
Correct.
Okay, might be the list. So I stood there at the gate. I didn't go off. Then he stuck that list in a blackboard. He removed the old one. Then I came to know, oh yes, this is the admission list.
Okay.
So I walked towards that list, and last name was my name. Imagine,
Yeah.
after getting 64% at that time, where I could have got into another colleges also if I would have taken keep in my mind frame as commerce.
Yeah.
So this is how my college started.
Started. when you told about your story, I just want to add. So I think I finished my 10th in 2008, and then I went to junior college. So, we are Christians, right? So in Mumbai, if you get St. Xavier's College or St. Andrew's College, it's like a big thing that you have achieved. Again, my percentage in the 10th standard were hardly like 60, 62.
Same, huh?
Yeah, somewhere, same
Amazing.
line. And my name did not come up in the list of, what is it called?
The admission.
Admission list. And I was pursuing for BCom, commerce itself, okay? I opted to go back in Borivali, get into St. Francis for the first 2 years. Next 2 years, this is exactly the same thing that happened with me. That I was giving up hope on getting an admission in Xavier's. Forget it. But Andrews, I was like, I'll have little bit of hopes, and let me see if I can get there. I think that time there were like 3 or 4 lists that used to come, and
Correct.
then people, when they get in their choice of college, the admission, then the slots keep opening up.
Correct.
So I happened to do BSc IT in a private college very close to my home in Borivali.
Amazing.
And at the same time, I got an option from St. Andrews saying that this slot has opened up. So this...
That feeling is completely different.
Yeah. And when you're talking about a brand name that you were looking forward to, or your parents or someone has been putting up in your mind.
Because what happened is in as being a Dubai kid, you know how the system works. The buses come right to your doorstep. Okay?
Yeah.
Everywhere there is AC.
Yeah.
You are actually in a very comfort zone. You haven't actually seen the competition.
Yes.
Until you go back to your country and you are like, for me getting 64 was like, wow, man.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I was like, yes, I'm a science guy now,
Yeah.
And then when I went in my home country, like India, Mumbai, man, 64 was like, are you failed? I was like, what?
But let's...
64. And they're like, no, man. It should be 84 or 90 or, And now people are talking 99.1 and 99.2.
Yeah.
99.9, man. But the person cannot afford to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Then how I got into my CA thing is another, because this was a life changer.
Yeah.
When I got into commerce, I was like, I have multiple options now. I am not restricted to doctor or surgeon or, I don't need to open anybody's body and check.
Yeah.
I need to open the financials and check.
Yes, absolutely.
So,
but even, I have a lot of friends back in Mumbai. They found it very difficult to, get into passing. I think you guys have a lot of exams.
The CA thing?
Yes. You're doing BCom simultaneously, and then you're applying for these CA exams, right?
So we were 5 friends. The coaching is too much in India. Okay.
Yeah.
Coaching, every second, third child goes for a coaching class.
Yeah.
Not like Dubai where you have 1 or 2 private teachers. Maths teacher, I used to only go for maths tutors.
Yeah.
Okay, that also I used to be very bored. But that's a culture in India.
Yeah.
So first time I joined accounts classes right next to my college in Bandra. Okay. And we were a group of 5 friends competing among each other.
Correct.
Okay, who will secure the highest?
Yeah.
And I thought for myself that if I get 100 on 100 on accountancy, nobody can get above 100. So I become first.
Correct.
Right. So that was my target right from the start. And in 12th, I topped my college. I got 99. I don't know one mark where they might have done. And when I stepped out of my exam, accounts exam, I told my father that it's full.
Okay, you were confident it's full.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He's like, okay, hold your horses. Tomorrow, your exam is not over. Tomorrow, there's another exam and we will see later on. I'm like, it's full. No mistakes.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. You know how fathers are. So that's good. And when actually it happened, then he was like, yeah, you should do CA and all these things. And one of my friend, among the 5 friends I mentioned, he was keen in doing CA. So I actually just joined him as a company, just for the company's sake. I didn't know that you mentioned about the exams.
Yeah.
Okay. And that point of time after 12th, you are in a very raw mindset. Especially nowadays, kids know exactly what they want.
What they want to do, yeah.
But talking way 10, 12 years back, people are still under the commerce zone, doctor, engineer,
Yeah.
You've seen Three Idiots, how things are.
Yeah.
We were from that era.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, CA is like very good. Let's do it. Okay. And my accounts seem to be fantastic. So let's see how it is. And then I joined the course. Then I came to know. How I came to know when I went to the Institute of Chartered Accountants to pick up the books. I'm like, my God, picking up the books right from Kolaba to Dadar with hand. I should have cabbed it up or whatever. I'm like, picking books and dropping home is a task. I have to study all this. Then I came to know there are reference guides also. Reference guides. Then classes. Classes, they have different notes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my table was filled with books. Right from 2008 till 2011. It was filled. The table kept on getting bigger and bigger. We had to buy a new table to accommodate the books.
Yeah. I can imagine that, like me not studying that much, still I had lots of books. You are into CA. So I had a neighbor.
And me not studying that much, I had this.
Yeah, exactly.
Come again. You were saying something?
So my neighbor has also done a CA. So I used to see him, like, when we are children, no? So our parents start comparing all of us, right? That's awesome beauty of Indian parents. Is I don't know whether you have experienced it or not.
No, my father had only two expectations.
Yeah.
One, pass and come. Two, don't waste any year. Don't waste my money.
Okay.
Bas.
Okay. Bus.
This is what I was required in CA.
Oh, wow.
I'll tell you how it happened. You continue your comparison thing.
Yeah. So the thing was for us, the auntie used to come to our house. मेरा बेटा बहुत पढ़ाई करता है. मेरा बेटा बहुत पढ़ाई करता है. आज ये बुक लाया है. आज ये है. उसका इतना फीस पे किया है और ये फीस पे करना है. And my mother is like अच्छा ठीक है. हाँ, मरीना भी कुछ कर रही है. That time people used to call me Priscilla back in my mother's house. So Priscilla भी कर रही है और देखते हैं क्या करती है. उसको इतना ज़्यादा मन नहीं है.
I remember in my colony one female was there. His I can mention his name, Nikhil. His son name was Nikhil. And another bigger guy was Kunal. Oh, मेरा Nikhil, my God. क्या पढ़ाई करता है यार. Oh. And Nikhil was like, but he used to actually study, huh?
Okay.
Yeah, really. Nikhil and my friend, another guy, Amrit. Okay, Nikhil challenged Amrit.
Okay.
That I will get more than you. Amrit always used to get high marks.
Higher marks. Okay.
Amrit was like that Amir Khan of Three Idiots. Nikhil was like that Changer of Three Idiots.
Three Idiots.
Yeah. Now, in one line, I explained
everything.
the situation.
Yeah.
If anybody would have seen Three Idiots, that's the case.
Fantastic.
So that's the thing. That's everybody has that those Nikhil and Amrit.
Yeah,
Amrit always wins because he does things for himself.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to put others down.
Correct.
If you want to grow, you grow by lifting others and you grow by upgrading yourself. Don't think of putting others down and growing.
Yes, absolutely. My next question to you. How did you end up coming with a name called Coffee Evenings? Were you a fan of Karan Johar?
No. Actually, what happened is, I always wanted to do something after work.
Yeah.
Because I was not a routine guy.
Okay.
So one of my friends suggested me that why don't you organize small learning sessions, because after completing my CA, I did not stop. I did my CS and Masters of Commerce in Banking and Finance as well, together with my CA.
Correct.
In the same duration. So after coming with that knowledge from India to Dubai, was something that if you just get up stuck in one job, you have a routine set.
Correct.
So I was free for a coffee in the evening,
Okay.
right? And I started my learning sessions over the Meetup app, and that session's name was Coffee Evenings
So how long did you start this?
in 2011.
Wow. From then you have been doing coffee
Yeah.
evenings.
So it started like this.
Yeah.
Okay. We started with 50 people on the app.
Okay.
Turnout ratio was 10, 15, 12, depends on the days I choose. Mostly I should choose a Friday evening because that time Friday was off and things like
Yeah.
that. Now also people like Fridays.
Yeah.
So I used to invite people over the Costa Coffee in Barjuman and all the wherever there is a metro connectivity.
Yeah.
People used to come. We used to talk about different topics, not necessarily the CA stuff, but
Yeah.
it could be interviewing skills, could be stress management, anything. I started inviting small speakers also over the coffee table. We used to have coffee table topics, and I used to open the floor for discussions and things like that. This somehow people like this concept. They really came back to me, and because I was a CA. I'm a CA, and people are actually wanting to take some sort of an advice.
Okay.
So the advisory thing started over a coffee table.
Coffee table. Okay.
That's how
So,
the company.
if I'm not wrong, you started your company recently.
A year
Or
back.
A year back.
Actually,
okay.
I took the license before we were in free zone.
Okay.
We were in free zone in from 2014.
Okay.
Okay. And from that time, we were managing the free zone license. But
Okay.
I recently took up a mainland license.
Mainland license.
Because
okay.
I realized that having a specialization is important.
Important. Yeah.
The free zone company had its auditing and event management and all. But the mainland company is specialized in taxation.
Okay. So once you have studied your CA, you were focused that this is what I want to carry forward, and this is how I want
I
to.
always wanted to do practice.
Okay.
Okay, I wanted to get into the business, but initially I started off by working. I was working in the insurance sector for 8 years. I also got associated with Dubai SME, again in insurance sector. Dubai SME, Dubai Economic Department.
Okay.
It's the SME arm of that. Then I got associated with the charitable organizations, and having these experiences also is very important because you can become an entrepreneur when you are having a in-depth knowledge of varied sectors. This
Yeah.
was besides the articleship, 3 years articleship we had done while we were doing our CA. Now people say that articleship is just an internship, but I would say if you are actually doing this while you're doing your CA course and you take it seriously, this is the best experience anybody can give you.
Oh, wow.
Because you don't have boundaries. You are doing your consultancy, you're doing your auditing. I've done bank audits, Yes Bank. We've done concurrent audit of Yes Bank. We've done trade finance audit, treasury audit, credit audit, of Yes Bank, and various manufacturing industries. We have actually done their auditing work while I was in my internship.
Internship.
Imagine.
Wow.
And getting to deal directly with the owners I'm still in touch with them.
So you said you started your business somewhere around 2014, right? From that time to right now, because right now a lot of SMEs have started coming up post-COVID. Yeah.
Correct.
What is the difference that you see in the work culture, or how people are handling their finances or accounts?
See, VAT got introduced. Two questions are there. One is a lot of suppliers have come in the market. One, and two is how the business are handling. So I will answer the second question first. When too much suppliers come in the market, the price goes down. Okay.
Very much.
And
Yeah.
I know people are doing the VAT filings and all in 100 dirhams, 200 dirhams. I would only say one thing is when you cross, you don't have to cross a road outside the pedestrian crossing.
Yeah.
Until you get fined, you still continue to do the same thing.
Correct.
The moment you get fined, you know that you need to use the pedestrian crossing.
Correct.
So I would say that we are among the consultants who will give you pedestrian crossing, where even insurance is covered. But if you cross the road besides the pedestrian crossing, So giving this example, I would say there are very suppliers. I due respect to them,
Yeah.
but many people open their business because there is an opportunity. They are called businessmen,
Yeah.
but we are not only businessmen. We are good service providers and entrepreneurs.
Correct.
We have not opened a business because there is UAE law, tax is there, or law has come. Have opened the business because we want to serve the client, and we would go right to the extent to ensure that their compliance is done.
Okay.
We are not the people who would fill the form for you for your VAT registrations or corporate tax registration. Besides, we filling the form, we will ensure that you get the benefit out of it in the form of maybe exemptions. We would highlight the client that, boss, you know what, if you apply for this exemption, like for example, in free zones, they have an option to apply for exemptions if they are meeting the criteria of the necessary activity listed in the regulations. Now, if that person just goes to their consultant and says that, please, I want a corporate tax registration done, what that person will do, the consultant, he will say, okay, give me your documents, let me upload it in the portal, and here's your certificate.
Correct.
Okay, done. We will go right a step ahead, check the business activities, check their classification, how we can derive some benefit for the client. After all, we are not just form filling consultants, but we are actual consultants who would drive the business of the organization to the next level, and that person, the business owner, will feel some value justification, and okay, you know what, this guy has come back to us. And that's what our tax doctor services do.
Okay.
One of a kind service, we have the tax doctor services. So our clients call our tax doctors, and our doctors diagnose their transaction and give them a conclusive report on the compliance requirement of the transaction.
Okay, that's interesting.
We also have nurse who cannot afford doctors. So we also have tax nurse services.
Wow. Now these are like, when you say doctor and a nurse, it makes it look more special and taken care of, is what I will say.
See, a doctor has to treat the patient. We as tax consultant need to treat the
Transaction, absolutely. So this reminds me of a question, okay? Have you done something out of the way for any of your clients? Because see, when we talk about finances, we talk about either extra income or extra expenses. So is it something that you have done that, what is it called? There's a transaction, जैसे कि किसी मूवी में या किधर तो मैंने सुना था कि किसी की डेथ हो गई है और उनको फ्यूनरल का जो एक्सपेंस है उन्होंने कंपनी में डाल दिया. इट्स अ पैकेजिंग एंड बॉक्सिंग एक्सपेंसेस and got it covered with regards to that. So it's an example.
There are two things.
Yeah.
Which I can give you. There are several things as of now. Because I cannot talk
disclose
about
everything.
all transactions. If they are seeing this video, they would. All characters in this film are real.
Yes.
There is resemblance everywhere.
Yes.
And nobody can file a case.
Yeah.
So one client had come to us. Okay, he had a tax audit. He didn't have anything. No books of accounts, nothing. And we had to actually do everything in a limited span of time. Like we had literally 1 or 2 days only.
Correct.
And that was a time where we had to file returns for other clients also. So we went extra mile, extra resources. I told my team, clients' deliverable is important. We are really valuing their timelines when it comes to the tax.
Correct.
Because every day is a cost to them with regards to the penalty. So we completed their 7 years books of accounts with their each and every entry in their bank statement, and plus also ensuring that they are within the tax regulatory requirements. Sometimes you are doing the right thing, but you are not documenting it.
Yes.
The problem is that.
And when you're new business, I feel like, we are trying to do everything ourselves, right? And because of that reason, we end up not doing, especially the accounts part. I feel I've been in that particular situation wherein, I did not take care of the initial documentation,
That's the
initial
thing.
invoicing, and things like that. And which, over a period of time, once I hired a professional, it gave me an impact.
I would recommend people to start early with regards to because what happens is people when they start business they want the transactions to grow,
Yeah.
and then they will say then I will hire an accountant. Why to have a cost now? But the thing is that the pain they will take later is saved if you hire it in the start.
Start.
And what we do is we have a step up package. For SMEs we have a limited package where we deliver. See, delivery is total. Our service delivery will not be lowered. Fees can be lowered depending on the client's budget and requirements. The reason I do this is because I want to give my clients the value services.
Correct.
I don't want to say, what, you're paying me this much, so I will just do this much. No, I will do everything. You pay me, okay. But when your business will grow, you decide how much you want to pay me then later on.
Correct.
We have this set requirement, this SME package, which doesn't pinch them. And when they see the services, they're like, oh my God, man, this guy is crazy. One of my client told me this, that you are acting like a CFO and I'm paying you like an accountant. I told them, you cannot change the character in me.
Yeah.
You can grow your business and start, you can do an incremental thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
The fees can be incremental, not an issue. Then you asked about the transactions in the UAE business, how, because I'm born here, I'll tell you what the mentality is. For many people, especially the oldies, still bank statement is their books of accounts. If you ask them, they will remember everything because they have the habit of writing everything in the diary.
Yeah.
Trust me, I will tell you that our accountants can make mistakes. But these old businessmen will never make mistakes. Because for them, writing it in the diary and having their bank account statement, okay, they had control of everything.
Correct.
Dubai has been like this. Okay. They didn't know what is profit and loss account, balance sheet, cash flow statements, compliances and all. Before it was not, it was there.
Yeah.
But it was there only for the top business owners and who have maybe a branch in UAE because they have compliance requirement in their home countries.
Correct.
But local businessmen, okay, halas, you give me your bank statement, this is done. But now because of the anti-money laundering policies, because of the UAE VAT regulations, corporate tax regulations, and so many labor law, federal law regulations have come into place.
Correct.
And because the landscape of the UAE law has enhanced to a drastic level, where the accountability has increased. We are accountable for our work, our transactions. Government wants to know your progress. The economy will also progress in that way, that manner. And I feel that this has changed the way the business owners think.
Yeah. So true.
Before they used to say that, okay, my bank statement, finish. This is the money I have in a bank. Now they like to see their profit and loss account, balance sheet. They want dashboards for their companies. They want the finance person to come to them and explain them, where do I go now?
Yes.
Should I put this money in this business or not? Please get my books of accounts audited. I want a tax consultant. I don't want to stress my mind with all these laws, And these laws are actually helping these businessmen to grow. So it is a blessing in disguise. In one of my articles, I had mentioned this in MAC Gulf, that a tax is a blessing in disguise. A blessing because it gives you a discipline and accountability.
Yes.
Right. Disguise because you need to work towards it and maintain books and maintain things. And this is actually organizing the business owners.
Yes.
Gradually they have realized that this is not a disguise, it's a blessing.
I absolutely agree to you what you're trying to say, because things have changed drastically from how we used to do accounts to how we are doing right now. Now tell me, there are 2 points that we have to conquer today. Is what about the corporate tax? It has been introduced just last year. We will be starting paying it off early next year onwards. So, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? And is corporate tax right now being there? Do you think we will soon lead into income tax as well?
Leading into income tax is what I don't think the government is at this point thinking of. Actually, Dubai and UAE government are actually very flexible, and they are very tourism friendly nations.
Yes.
You know, and UAE is known for its tax heaven. You know, the reason the corporate tax is because it had one of the reason is because being the member of the state, they were a member of one of these states actually, where all the people had corporate tax. So UAE was the only nation in that particular committee where there was no tax.
Okay.
To maintain this uniformity, one, two, the UAE reliance on oil sector, you know, also is diminishing over a period of time because UAE doesn't want to be only an oil centric economy. It wants to grow the infrastructure. Now you see in the next 10 in the coming 10 years and in the 10 years prior to today, how drastic changes there has been in the UAE metro, Dubai metro, the RTA, the infrastructures, the landmarks. Now UAE's vision is to take Dubai to the next level.
Yes.
You know, the rulers, they are having that vision, and that vision can only be possible with the help of the citizens and residents like us. By abiding, and this is the bare minimum. 9% is the bare minimum which we can contribute to the economy of the country.
Yeah, and that also after you have completed 375,000.
See, exactly.
Yeah.
And after 370, how many business people are actually above 375,000? If you talk about UAE's economy and UAE's business, maybe 20%.
Maybe.
Maybe 20%. You know, that is also why, because they have branches and all. And you can say 60% are small business owners.
Correct.
You know, so technically it has not impacted the revenue of UAE, but to a massive extent, but to a certain extent only.
Yeah, but when we say, when we are trying to say we have a corporate tax, we have to pay 9%. So the way the information goes out, like if you have seen the recent floods in Dubai, okay, in Dubai there was not this much of a noise, but the people around or people outside of UAE,
Oh, corporate tax! Oh my God!
yeah, it was similar, yeah.
टैक्स आ गया है ना, दुबई में टैक्स आ गया है.
Exactly.
इतने साल से टैक्स देखा ही नहीं.
देखा ही नहीं है.
Mothers also throw the vessel out of the kitchen. Tax. Let's go back. अच्छा, when they go back na to the home country, they will pay 20%.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So recently I went back.
Tax, okay.
Absolutely.
If they are a US citizen, they will pay tax on global income.
Yes.
That will be more than 20%. You go to Canada, you will pay 40% taxes. You know.
Yeah.
But no, you have a green card, no? No?
Yeah.
And here for Emirates ID, how much Emirates ID? 330 dirhams for 2 years.
Yeah.
And we are worried to pay 9% tax.
9% tax. Absolutely.
Seriously. It's not a big thing in the market. Paying 9% tax is okay, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely
send money
agree.
to your home country, 2% you're paying.
Absolutely.
As transaction tax.
Yeah. So tell me, there is one more thing I recently came to know about you, that you have been a co-author. So what inspired you to write a book, and how did that idea come all about? Like from coffee evenings after 6 to writing a book.
Yeah, so we were a group of professionals, and one of them encouraged me that, why don't you contribute to what we are writing. We wrote about transfer pricing, international taxation. Okay, and because that time transfer pricing and international taxation is actually a very technical topic where and corporate tax has been recently introduced. So it became all the more important for us as a consultants to educate our clients, educate the audience that you have to do this from the day one. You have to maintain the transfer pricing documents from day one. You need to ensure that your pricing from your head office to your branch, the goods which you price, to your branch and forth, are at arm's length prices.
Okay.
So this concept is actually not very well discovered in UAE, because let me give you an example. You go to Lulu, you will shop over there. You might get a milk product for X amount. Okay, then you go to Choithrams. Okay, you will find the variation in the pricing.
Yeah.
Why? Because there is no standardization.
Yeah.
Everybody have different cost. Everybody have different bargaining and negotiation power. Transfer pricing works like this: that if I have a branch or I have a connected person, like for example, I have two companies, one in India, one in Dubai. My India company sends goods to Dubai company at a price.
Correct.
Now there are tax regulations in India, there are tax regulations in UAE. Now, right? So the pricing should not be to avoid taxes. This is the concept of transfer pricing.
Okay.
You have to price your services across your organization, interdepartment sales, interdepartment connected party prices. Like I am a common owner in two companies within UAE. I need to ensure that the price which I send from my company A to company B is at arm's length price and market price. For that, there are several methods introduced by the tax, keeping in mind the tax laws.
Okay.
There are certain documentations which business owners needs to put in place, and this is a little bit technical and a boring topic as well. That's why I thought a book would be good and handy,
Okay.
instead of seeing the screen. Although we have an electronic book as well,
Okay. Yeah.
but when you have a book in your hand and it's easy for you to read,
Yeah.
away from
Are you
the
a
gadgets.
book lover or like book reader?
No.
No, you don't like?
Only when it gives me money. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. So I have recently started reading books, and what happens now? I'm reading a lot of self-help books. So what I see in all the books is they are trying to say the same thing, but it's just the fancy title, and
So what we did, good you asked me this question actually. Our book, how it is different is because it is having practical examples. Because I understand that reading something theoretical and actually getting into the practical zone is actually different.
different. Yes, so
You
true.
might face certain situations, certain circumstances where what you would do, you
Correct.
cannot go back to your book. You can go back to the situation and see, is this situation in your interest? Is this situation matching your the book situation and your situation matching?
Correct.
Then we have tax treatment for that.
Yeah.
So practical examples have been
Practical,
given.
yeah. Practical knowledge works much better than
Theoretical.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I meant.
And we make it fun. We make our learnings fun actually.
Yeah. That way. Okay, I have few questions that I've written down, so I'm going to be like reading from the questions.
Rapid fire round.
Rapid fire round. Yeah, we can call it that. What is transfer pricing and how it is defined under the UAE corporate tax law? This is exactly what you told just now, but
Exactly. I
in
will put it in a more professional sense.
Yeah.
This basically, transfer pricing is a price which entity charges to its associated entity.
Okay.
When I say associated entity, it could be those entities who are having common control, or it could be a branch of your organization. Like Sharaf DG has branches in multiple locations.
Correct.
It will price its products in these multiple locations at a price which is called transfer price.
Okay.
This is transfer price.
This is a better example, is what I will say. Okay. Which entity are subject to transfer pricing regulation in the UAE?
Okay. There are two scenarios here.
Okay.
One is if you are having your branch or you're having a head office across regions. Across regions means outside UAE, you have one company in UAE and another company in Dubai, or one company in Singapore, or USA or anybody, anywhere. Either it could be a branch or it could be a head office. Either ways. Okay. And this is one. Okay. Second, you have a transaction among these companies.
Okay.
It could be capital introduction. It could be loan. It could be selling goods among each other. One of your company could be a service cost center, and one company could be a sales unit. Okay. So the bottom line is, if they are coming under the common control, they are called associate enterprises in the tax terminology. Means they are related.
Related to each other.
And secondly, they are having transactions among each other.
And
This is what
because I'm into somewhat similar, so does the owners of these businesses have to be same?
Not necessary.
Not necessarily.
Not necessary. They can have a common board. The decision making could be common even without having the owners uncommon.
Okay. Okay.
They might have a common company owned.
Okay.
So that's basically indirect control could also be there, because the control is no longer only limited to owners. Maybe the relatives are owning the company.
Could be. Yeah.
Because people have become very smart. Knowledge is at their fingertips.
Yes.
And they know the ways out. But tax department also have become smart.
It is like चोर तो हो गए स्मार्ट, तो हम पुलिस भी हो गए
पहले चोर होते हैं.
Yeah.
पहले स्मार्ट चोर होते हैं. पुलिस बाद में आती है.
आती है.
लेकिन आती जरूर है.
आती जरूर है. और पुलिस के बाद तो फुल फ्लेज टीम होती है ना?
Exactly.
Okay. The next one is, what are the consequences of failing to maintain adequate transfer pricing documentation?
Okay, this is basically listed in the tax procedures. They have various fines. It could range up to 10,000 to 50,000, or on an average. That's the seriousness. Why? Because transfer pricing is such a thing. It not only affects your local laws, it also affects your international laws. It comes under the international tax laws.
Okay.
And I remember when I was doing my audit, we used to fill Form 3 CEB way back in India. This is the transfer pricing document. And when we go to the tax authorities of international tax, they don't listen to you. They are not amendable. I'm not saying others are, but these guys are very strict, because they are well trained.
Yeah. And they have been following for a very long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So similarly, you cannot play around with these laws. And you need to have a very sound value justification. You need to do your economic analysis, technical analysis, and there's a lot of work go on to much this. Some businessman might just think that give me the document, but to make that document justifiable is what we do.
One last one. Do transfer pricing rules apply to all types of transactions, or are certain transactions excluded?
There are two things. Okay. One, there should be related party or associated transactions.
Okay.
Associated enterprise. Okay. Associated enterprises are those who are, I told you, branch, head office, or common control, whether by way of shares, or by way of relatives, or by way of board, anything, common decision making. These two entities are identified. Then, if they have transactions among each other, and that's the time where the transfer pricing would apply to these entities.
Interesting. Now for our Indian audience, this question is for our Indian NREs. For NREs, the money is not taxable in Dubai, right? Do you think it is necessary for them to file an income tax return in India, and why?
Okay. So for the NREs, who have been in Dubai maybe for 10 years, 20 years, or they won't plan to go back, I would strongly recommend to file the returns, is because of two reasons. That will be their document to prove that they are having this particular income sourced in UAE. These documents will help them when they go back to their home country and receive their inheritance. When they
Correct.
receive their inheritance, they will produce these documents to and that will be coming from the tax department, and they are legal documents. There are no documents because once you leave your job in Dubai, okay, you will only have your salary slips, your
Yeah.
bank accounts, you will empty it, and this money will be transferred to
Yeah. Indian
India.
account.
That's the time these returns will help you. You know.
Yeah.
Secondly, of course, many people are earning in UAE. They are salaried. They are in good positions, and you know, but they also buy properties in India, right? And when the government asks for source of funds, again, these tax returns will be benefited to them to show that these have been already declared in the UAE, in the Indian tax department as a UAE based source.
Okay. Now
Means you're already declaring that as a foreign income.
foreign income. Okay.
Exactly, that's the word, foreign income. You're already declaring your foreign income being an NRI, right?
Okay.
Then you might have an NRO account, you might have an NRE account. You might deal with share markets. You might invest there.
Yeah.
You might be subject to tax deducted at source. If you don't file your income tax returns, how will you claim your refund?
Yeah. So true.
So to get
It's
the money back,
actually happening with me right now, so I can relate more to this. And
You
I'm
find
sure a
it?
lot of Indians out in Dubai, because in the beginning it's like earn your salary and then send it back to India. That's all they think of. But
Correct.
later on, it gets added on.
absolutely.
Okay. Thank you so very much, Nilesh, for coming here and sharing your experience, sharing your journey with us. If anyone else would like to join me and tell about your journey, your story, get in touch with me or my team, and we will have you as our guest the next and let your story come out to the world.